remember you and me, and how careless we could be.
All day and all night, we'd stay up, it felt so right. We were so young, we were so dumb. We would get drunk and then hook up. We were okay, we were alright, staying awake till the sunrise. We were in love, couldn't stop us, like a good drug, never enough. We hook up in my car, driving so far, play your guitar, you'd show me your art. Let down our guards, think with our hearts, stare at the stars, we were never apart. Drinking too young, way too much fun, out in the sun, hoping when it's gone. Took you to prom, dance to our song, dance all night long till the lights come on. Late now, I remember everything, and how careless we could be, and how careless we could be, and how careless we could be. Nights, long fights, it felt right, we were alive. We would go out, we were so loud, we were so proud, we had no doubts. Weekends and weekdays, we'd spend our own way. We were careless, we were fearless, we were reckless, time was precious. We loved to waste time, whiskey and wine, drinking all night, asleep by your side. Finally alive, we would just drive, never arrive. Our journey was live, staying out late, testing our fate, running away. We live for today, young and so bold, never get old. Screw what we're told, we can't be controlled. Now I remember everything, and how careless we could be, and how careless we could be, and how careless we could be. How careless we could be.
Too late now, I remember you and me, and how careless we could be.
Hey white boy, shout out to you. Okay, I'm going to start this out here. I was watching White Boy tonight, okay, and he did a video of this is a judge that took away Don and Candace's kids, okay. So of course I had to do my research, to see what's up with this guy. And let me tell you, this guy should not have a license, okay? Because I found, okay, is Tennessee child protection a whole? There's a whole issue there, okay? Um, some parents that haven't even had their kids taken from them, okay? Um, this man should not be an attorney. He should not have any kind of law license. So this is just my beginning searching on this guy here. So I'm going to put everything that I go over, I'm going to put it in the chat box here, link. So you guys, if you want to look, because I won't pay for court documents, but I found a lot of other court documents on this man, okay? So this should be very, very interesting. I hope you guys think it's interesting, because I do. Because I do not trust child protection, okay? For a number of reasons. Majority of them are dirty, dirty, dirty workers, okay? Some people get $1,400 a child, okay? And the kids weren't even abused. Oh, I'm not even going to get into it. See, it just gets me going, you guys, okay? And as you see, if anybody wants to come at me, did you see I put Summer's name in there? Hell no, you didn't. So if any of you stupid people want to come at me, nice try. Okay, this is about the Child Protection Services here in Tennessee. And this has to do with Hawkins County Child Protection Juvenile Court Judge or whatever, Daniel. So let's look this up here real quick with Daniel. This is what's going on. Okay, and this was as of August 15th. An attorney who investigates, say, gave a client forged divorce papers and then offered her money to withdraw a complaint against him, has been charged with 3 counts of forgery and 1 count of bribery. What does that tell you? Okay. He's dirty. I don't care. He's dirty. He's just a dirty judge, in my opinion. Okay. And I have many reasons why I say that. Let's see, what else does it say here? Hold on. Alma. Hi, Alma. How are you? CPS bill. Okay. Yeah, we could argue that. It's a really the cases that they shouldn't, they do. How about that? Well, except for my friend and my cousin, they have to go beyond for their kids. They spend their own money on those kids. You know what? And it all depends on the state, and it all depends if you're rich, if you're poor, and I hate to say this, but your race. I think the sheriff, you know what? I think it's all corrupt over there. Hey, Karen. Okay, let me get back to doing this here a minute. Okay, and we're gonna watch a little thing on this dude too. 2 years ago, June of 2021, I think it was. He was only working 1 to 2 days a week as a juvenile judge. He asked to be put on full time. So I got the court hearing for that. I don't know if you call it a court hearing. Okay, where was I? Let me get back to it. Okay, so the DA, who's the DA? He's been under investigation since May of this year, when the 3rd District Attorney General Dan Armstrong requested another look into his office for forgery and bribery. The second district attorney took over the case after Armstrong requested an outside DA assume the case, which would be what? TBI, right? A grand jury, they are the ones that signed the paperwork to have this done. Okay. But let's see. Daniel Boyd forged a divorce document degree in October 7, 2022. And then a second forgery for another document. An act out of Hawkins County. Okay, hold on, you guys. Okay, so 3 charges of forgery. He's just dirty, you guys. He's dirty, dirty, dirty. He's just dirty. Listen to me. The only way I'm saying this is because I can't believe what I found in a 2-hour period on this man. So anyways, he was booked Hawkins County Jail and was released on a $25,000 bond. Okay, I'm going to share that link. I'm going to share every link, you guys, because I'm going to continue searching on this man. Hi, Karen. Everything that I say here, okay, is my own opinions. Everything's alleged. And what's the other word I want to use? I think he's dirty. There you go. I said it. Okay, now let's look at his suspension document. I got that. I found it, guys. I found it. I'll wait till you guys see it. Okay, this is from August 16th. Order of interim suspension. Okay, the matter came before the board by General, what's his name, Attorney General Berry on August 14th. Judge Daniel Boyd, who serves as the juvenile court judge in Hawkins County, Tennessee, was indicted on 3 counts of forgery, a Class C felony under Tennessee Code, blah, 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 blah. Judge Boyd was also charged with 1 count of criminal simulation, a Class C felony. See, he don't need to be a judge, you guys. Okay. Okay. Provides that the following and filing of a indictment or information charging a judge with a felony under the law of any state or under federal law. The board may immediately place the judge on interim suspension. In the instance, the board has determined that the public interest and proper administrations of justice warrants placing Judge Boyd on interim suspension until further board orders. So it's ordered that Judge Boyd is suspended effectively immediately upon the filing of this order. During the term of suspension, Judge Boyd is prohibited from exercising any judicial power, authority, including and not limited to holding court, issuing subpoenas, settings, resettings of cases, issuing warrants, setting, changing bonds, administrating oaths, oral and written rulings in the matter. The suspension will remain in effect until further notice. How about that, you guys, huh? Oh. How about that? Anybody? And see, okay, people are going to bring it up, about the wills. We don't know what happened. We weren't there. You're chatting, probably because I'm all loud and all obnoxious over this. Just because I've known too many bad things with child protection. And this guy here is a problem. Tennessee in a whole is a problem with child protection. Wait till you see what this state did to this one family. This year, you guys, this year. All the chat disappeared. All the comment. Really? That's weird. Okay, before I get to this little meeting that he was in, begging them to let me work full time here. I wonder why you wanted to work full time there. Okay. This guy has had his license suspended so many times. Okay. Within a 2-year period, no, something. In a 4-year period that I have found so far, four times his license was suspended, you guys, for his bad behavior. How about that, huh? See, this is public information. People need to know. People need to know this kind of stuff. Oh, hold on. Here we go. Oh, this ain't it. No. There we go. So in January 2018, he got his license back, okay? For public release, this letter shall serve upon a public letter along with all the attached order of suspension is issued pursuant to your agreement with an investigation panel on the board. The complaint is based upon your self-report to disciplinary council of the Tennessee board. And that was October 3rd, 2017. The petition is attached to this letter, Exhibit 2. You are currently a part-time juvenile judge for Hawkins County, Tennessee, and are allowed to practice law as well as performing your duties. The petition for discipline alleges that you committed ethical violations of rules of professional conduct for attorneys set forth rules of the Supreme Court in Tennessee. These rules dealt with competence and diligence required of attorneys. Okay. September 29th, 2017, you entered a conditional guilty plea to the petition for discipline that you have filed. In a conditional plea, you admitted your guilt to violating Tennessee rules of professional conduct. Diligence, truthfulness. He's a liar. See, I told you. Misconduct, which is attached to this letter as Exhibit 2, the Tennessee Board of Professional Responsibility and the Supreme Court of Tennessee. The sanctions imposed by the Supreme Court of Tennessee included, among other sanctions, a 3-year suspension with a 120 days active suspension and remainder of probation. Judge shall uphold and promote the independence, integrity, impartiality of the judicial, and shall avoid improperly and the appearance of impropriety. What are these words, you people? So he's a bad judge, you guys. That's what I'm getting at here. He shouldn't be a judge. Okay? No, I don't see anybody else either. No, just you. There ain't nobody here. Just you. Just you talking anyways. So anyways, I don't like that judge. Okay? Okay, let's look at this here. Oh, I want to put the links in for you people too. I'll do that. Don't worry about it. I'll do it. Here's another one. Is this one it? Okay, this one I didn't want to pay for. Who outed him? The DA. Or no, Attorney General's office did. Hold on. I will get the other 2 links to these court documents here in a minute. Here's the one I'm going to watch or read to you guys right now. Here's another one. Hey, Karen, Alma's in chat. Can you see her? Can you see Alma? Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay. Okay, here's another one. Here's another time he was unethical. But this is when he got his license back or whatever. And I didn't want to pay for any of this. Okay. So this is a letter stating that on May 8th, this is recent, people, recent of 2023. This letter shall serve as a public reprimand pursuant to Tennessee Code. The reprimand does not prelude, conclude, nor resolve any matters that may be pending or impending other than the issue states below. Since assuming office as Shelby County Criminal District Court Judge on September. Hold on. This one ain't his. Okay, never mind that one, okay? That one ain't, nope. I'm glad I took another look at that. Don't look at this one. There we go. Sorry. But yeah, so let's see what else. There's more, you guys. Let's see. Hawkins Sessions Judge offers to fill juvenile judge's seat. This was in July of 2020. Okay? Do you see all these dates, you guys? 16, 17, 18, 20, 22, 23. Six. Count them, six. I mean, would you trust that man? I won't trust him. Would you guys trust him? Oh, good. I'm glad you can see her now. So, and who, you know what? Who knows what else is going on behind closed doors? Now, there's another state, and I haven't had time to look for it yet, that they have to go back and look at a bunch of records of kids that were taken improperly from their parents based on lies, accusations, and using like the word severe abused children when it wasn't even like that, but they put that, in the head, and the kids weren't even abused, stuff like that. So they have to go through that judge and that prosecuting office. They have to go and relook at everything. I think maybe the dismissal could be grounds for. I'm telling you, what a sad situation there for the Wells. I think they should look into this guy. I'm not done looking into him, because the more I keep looking, the more I keep finding of violations this man has gotten. It's crazy. I'm just back, 2016, 2017. And I've come across 5 with this man. Hold on. What's this one? I found another one. Hold on, you guys. I found another. Hold on. What's this? TNJ on the Hill. What's this? Judge law license suspended. Okay, this is December 17, 2017. Legislator says no impeachment plans at this time. Well, you know what? I think they need to impeach him now. Okay? I mean, I'm going to keep looking. This guy, I don't like him. Listen to me. I don't like him. Okay, I'm just going to put these in here. Believe me, you guys. I'm telling you. All right, let me put this one in here. And this one is, did I already put that in here? Oh yeah, I did put that in there. Okay, remember I got two more things to get for you guys. So you guys can read, or so you guys can read the court documents yourself, because some of them are pretty long. You're welcome, Karen. I always just try to show you guys what I'm looking at, and so you can do your own research, and because everybody has their own feelings about things. But I'm on my channel, so I can stress that I don't like this man just because I've seen too much in my own state, okay? And other cases in Tennessee that I looked up, yeah. Okay, here he is, right here. Let's watch this little session here. This is Hawkins County takes first step towards making juvenile judge position full time for Daniel. Oh, sorry guys. What's going on here?
Pursuit to my continued pursuit to make this a full-time job, the juvenile court judge a full-time job. I don't, from a procedural standpoint, it has made it through the personnel committee and was actually presented to the commission, or scheduled to be presented to the commission 3 different times, and it was tabled at the last time because it was determined that it had to be an election year or coming up on an election year. Here we are with 2022 just right around the corner. So I do wish to continue my pursuit to make it full time. I do believe it's justified. The amount of time that's going into it right now continues to be more than just 2 days a week. My court days, I'll have to say, last week was the first week in about almost a year.
Okay, I'm going to say something here. He said that this was 2022. What years were those charges? Those 4 charges for him? And I say that because he looks pretty nervous in this meeting. He wants all the time to be this judge here. He wants to be full time. Why is my question.
I'd say that I got out of court at what I would call regular times, which would be before 4 o'clock. I've been staying there 5, 6, 6:30 on most court days addressing things. With COVID, which it presented lots of different challenges from a school standpoint, it presented those equal challenges to me because virtual learning and the way that children were being educated, some of them didn't have internet, and it was just, I'm still dealing with truancy. In fact, I would like, if I was able to make it full time, 1 day a week would be dedicated solely to truancy issues. And truancy issues are interesting because it's not always just they're not going to, young people aren't going to school. It's why they aren't going to school, and addressing those concerns and those issues that are facing the families. So especially in what I would call the late fall semester and getting into the spring semester, is the truancy issues start to arise. That's where 1 day a week would be dedicated to truancy issues. Something I think that would be beneficial for you all to know as well is I would also have at least 1 day a month that would be addressed to court costs. I learned last week with a young man that came through court that I dealt with him. See, this August I'll start my 11th year. I'll celebrate 10 years of holding this position. His court costs exceed $7,000. He's not paid any money on it, and that's something that should be addressed. And I would have 1 day, at least a month, set aside for cost reviews to help bring monies in that are due to the county. And a lot of that money goes to drug testing, and we've had to move some money around from the standpoint of our budget to order new drug screens because we were out. We didn't have the money. If I can address the cost aspects and start working on getting money coming in, that helps the county as well.
Just Boyd, how many hours outside of your scheduled time on the bench do you dedicate to working for the Office of Juvenile Court outside of what you're scheduled to do?
How many hours per week?
Let's say per week.
I'll say that that's going to be hard to answer because it varies. But I would say that on average, I would spend at least an additional day. Of course, there's always the administrative side of things as well. I get awakened at all hours of the night for either DCS removals or signing search warrants for law enforcement. I'm able to do that as well. So I had one morning about 3 weeks ago where I had 2 troopers come by. One called me at 2 o'clock in the morning. The next one called me at 3 o'clock. So a week, I would say at least another day, at least.
I'd like to add something to what you said.
I'm sorry, Karen. I was muted. Let's see here. Why did they make this guy full-time after previously suspended? And you know what? I've only gone back to 2016, 2017. And I found 5 different times he's been unethical. And it's about money. Okay, and these other ones here, all these other links, I hope it works, these links. These are for the other cases that I found, you guys, okay? So that's 3 of them. Okay, let's get back to this. I'm sorry.
It's a work for the school system. You know, we do deal with truancy a lot. We deal with chronic absenteeism as a whole, and truancy is part of that issue. And what I find is, as the year progresses into, April and May, your truancy issues actually increase dramatically. The problem is that as you're getting closer to the end of the school year, it's harder to get those kids into my office so that I can review their attendance record and then turn them over.
Hey, Karen, do you know? Well, I can find out myself. So with his bar number, we could find out how many times he's been in trouble, right? We can look that up somewhere, right? Well, I'll figure it out. I'm just trying to make it easier for me. That's all.
To my truancy officer, which then takes them to you. And so what happens is you get a backlog of students, and it's no fault of anybody's, in my opinion, as far as what we're trying to do. But I'll have students that'll have 20 unexcused absences when 5 is what gets you to be legally truant. And I could have upwards of 5 of a student with 20 or even 30 unexcused absences waiting to get into court because we just can't get them there. So I'm certainly in favor. I do think we need more time on the bench to hear these cases, just because, and truancy I know is just a part of what we do, but it's the part that I see the most. And getting our kids in school is very important for our community. I believe if they're not going to be there, then they can't learn. So anyway, Judge Boyd, I certainly appreciate you bringing this to the committee this morning, and I'm in support of it, at least factoring it into the formula to see what it's going to cost us in the second round. So
I will say that these late truancies that end up in court in, let's say, the latter part of the school year in late April, early May, always end up getting put off to the fall semester. And then even with the summer school this summer, there's the students that were ordered to go to summer school. I treated those as mandatory. So if they missed a day of school, they were brought back up into court. I've had a few, but I also set those for review through the summer. So, the last day I believe was June the 17th, which was Thursday. The bigger part of my docket Thursday were truancy reviews on the children that were going to summer school. I know that September the 28th and September the 30th, those 2 days right now are completely dedicated to truancy reviews because of the way that the school calendar worked and the truancy things. I've said, you have to start the school year, the fall school semester, no excused absences, no tardies, etc. And that's right towards the end of the first 9 weeks, so I want to see how their performance is. And then when we have those students come through, a lot of times we'll put services in the home to help address what's going on. If it's behavior issues, if there's other family issues, we can put services in the home that help with counseling and things of that nature. So I want to set reviews to see how they're doing. How are the counselings, are the in-home services working? Is everyone being compliant? Are we making strides to help the family get some of these issues rectified? And it's not just, hey, they show up for one day in court. It's, we're going to come back several times, and I want to make sure that the students are attending. I want to make sure that they're putting forth the effort, because I want to get them educated.
I have a two-part question. So the first one, obviously a salary increase would change within our budget, but what about the secretaries and clerical personnel? If the position wasn't full-time, would those not increase as well? Would you not need more clerical staff?
I don't believe so. I think the staff and the office, the way that the office is run right now, I don't believe I'll need any additional staff.
Okay.
Did you
And
hear
then
that?
second,
He ain't gonna need any additional staff. Well, of course not, because the people that he had, were dirty just like him, allegedly.
just for my own information, the process here. So even if the personnel committee approves this and the budget committee and all that, it's still not a done deal, right? Then this goes.
It would go to my understanding is it would go to the commission. The commission would vote. It would be a majority vote to take it to the legislature. The legislature would amend the private act, and then it comes back to the commission for a 2/3 vote.
And then and then of course, once we make it a full-time position, it's then an elected position, correct?
It is an elected position.
That would, then you have to essentially run for next
I
year.
would have to run, I'm planning on running for it anyway. So.
Any other questions?
How many counties in Tennessee have a full-time juvenile?
I would say there are several. A lot of counties handle it a couple of different ways. A lot of counties would have a juvenile magistrate, so the general sessions judge is typically the general sessions and juvenile, but then they have a magistrate that helps them with the juvenile docket. Okay? And then a lot of counties, so they're still paying basically 2 judges. The magistrate doesn't quite make as much as the general sessions judge. Then a lot of counties have basically 2 general sessions judges. For instance, we'll say Hamlin County has 2 general sessions judges, Division 1 and Division 2. Judge Collins strictly handles the criminal docket. Judge Snyder handles the general sessions civil and then the juvenile side. Sullivan County does that as well, at least in the Kingsport area. They actually have, Sullivan County has, I believe, 3 general sessions judges, if not 4. You have some that handle the upper end there in Bristol and Kingsport, but Kingsport has 2 sessions judges that handle both criminal docket and juvenile docket. They split the duty.
I get a question. Then, basically, I see Mr. Hickson back here, and Matt, I don't mean to put you on the spot, okay? But considering the relation between the school system and the juvenile court system, would you care to give us some thoughts on this? If you feel comfortable.
Sure, yeah. I don't disagree with anything that's been said. I fully support the move. And here's 2 things that may not have been mentioned. Number one, we try to be extremely proactive through tier 1, tier 2, before students make it to before the judge. And the docket that he's talking about is after school interventions proactively up to that and including that point. We have been extremely well supported by his actions and his handouts when it gets to his point, meaning that that's the teeth of our process. And unfortunately, we do require or do need that moment of threat or realism of prosecution when it gets to that tier 3 or beyond point. And Mr. Roach alluded to that as well. And the fact that that he's willing to partner with us and really hold them to the fire, so to speak, when it gets to that point, has been extremely beneficial to us. I mean, we're funded based on our attendance. And so from a financial standpoint, without his support and without him working alongside of those parents when it gets to that point, we would have no repercussions in place. And as proactive as we've been, number two, sorry, we still increase in number from year to year. We're trying, and I think COVID has been an anomaly, but we still saw when we opened fully, we missed 19 total days. So we were one of the school systems in the region that really held firm to trying to keep students in place, such as the judge referred to. We have 45% of our students that don't have access to virtual instruction when we had to go virtually. So when we did 19 days across the system out of 180 days, that's pretty good, but
You see, you know what I'm going to have to think about, Karen? I'm going to have to, see, I can find these documents, about him being suspended and about him being reprimanded or whatever, but I need to research better and find out why. What did he do in those other cases also? I hope one would be out in Western North Carolina. Yeah. But this guy should not be in office here. If I were those people that live out there, I would not elect him for anything.
we still had problems that we had to track down due to not logging in, not being active when we were virtual. And then when we got back full-time March, 5 days a week, full-time from that to the end of the year, that's prime season for attendance concerns. So his docket didn't slow down, even being an anomaly year.
I'll say this too, as I let it kind of focusing on the truancy thing, there's a whole lot more that goes into this job than just truancy. But truancy cases take a little bit longer than the average case too, because we're trying to find out why aren't they going to school, what issues are presented to the family, help them come up with a plan to, get the wagons circled, if you will, and then see to it that everyone stays on that plan. So if I have 15 truancy cases in addition to everything else that I have to do, I know that those 15 cases are going to take about an hour and a half to 2 hours before I'm able to address any of these other matters.
I'd like to make a motion and go ahead and send this on to the second round.
Mr. Rowell made a motion.
Second.
Who? And a second. Send Mr. Boyd's request on to the next hearing of the next meeting.
I assumed in the next, correct me, this will be included in the draft, but also we need a resolution before commission, correct?
This wouldn't actually go in the draft because what it would do is it would coincide with the next election cycle. So it would actually go into the next budget if the processes are followed through and everything is approved.
So
this mark out the second draft.
Okay.
On our motion.
So then the motion, just to verify then, is for a resolution to be presented to the full commission for approval. Got it. Still second that.
Got that, Mr. Brown?
So,
Your salary would be the same as Judge Ross
Yes, sir.
if this passed.
Yes, sir.
And it wouldn't go into effect until after the election.
It wouldn't go into effect until
2020.
2022. That's correct. But petitions, I checked with the election office. I think petitions can pick up in February. So we want to make it, and look, I understand, I'm not doing it I'm doing it because I'm the one that's holding the office, but I'm also doing it because whoever is elected at that position deserves to dedicate their full time to that job. I think it's, I understand that opens the door for competition, and, competition makes us better, so.
Are your motion to adjourn?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry. Get interrupted there, didn't we? Mr. Barrett, call roll, please.
Commissioner Speaks, Flounder.
Yes.
Commissioner Harrell,
Yes.
Commissioner Rhodes,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark,
Yes.
Commissioner Thacker,
No.
Commissioner Barrett, yes, Commissioner Jackson.
No.
Mr. Chairman, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 5 votes in favor and you have 2 votes against.
Motion passes.
How about that, you guys? So that's when he began to be the full house or full-time judge. I think it was 2021. Or hold on. 2 years ago, June 21st, 2021. June 21st, 2021. That's a date. However, he's been in office here for juvenile courts. Ooh, I should have looked that up. Okay, now this next case. This is just to give you an example of the issues with child protection in Tennessee. Look what they did to this poor family here. I'm going to just read a tiny bit of this, and then we're going to listen to the family themselves and their attorney. This happened in March of 2023. 5 children taken from Black family after rural Tennessee traffic stop because the dad was in possession of weed. They took all 5 of their kids, put them in child protection care. It took them 2 months to get their babies back. The kids at the time were 4 months old, 2 years old, 3, 5, and 7. Did you hear about that case? Isn't that horrible? I'll put the link to that. And one of them, I think their first court hearing they went to, they're from what, Chicago? And they were driving to a funeral. So we were going to watch a couple videos of like them in court, them talking, their attorney talking. Might not be in order. Yeah, that baby's 4 months old. But see, they didn't charge the mom with anything. They told the mom. What did they tell the mom? Oh, shoot. Hold on. I'm going to read. What did they tell them other? Well, anyway, she wasn't charged. Maybe she'll say in this video here, I'm going to show you guys. Hold on.
What started as a family road trip ends with the parents facing misdemeanor charges and the children in DCS custody. The parents have been fighting to get their children back, but a judge ruled today that the 5 children from Atlanta should remain in state custody. Bianca Claiborne and Deontay Williams were...
Oh, my bad. They're from Georgia. They were going to Chicago for a funeral.
Driving from Georgia up to Chicago when they were pulled over in Coffee County, Tennessee, and charged with marijuana possession. A judge granted the Department of Children's Services custody of those children. News 2's Tori Gessner joining us live from Coffee County, where Claiborne and Williams appeared in court today behind closed doors. Tori.
Well, Mark, no one was allowed inside that juvenile court hearing today, and because of state.
Hi, Wind. No, I didn't hear that. Because this case really, or what I'm doing ain't about Summer. It's about this judge. Granted, the judge is in Hawkins County, but who am I to judge? Don and Candace, okay? I don't know if they did anything. Until then, they're innocent to me. And I think she was abducted anyways.
Law, we weren't even allowed to know the reason for that hearing or what exactly happened during it. But what we do know, a family attorney says the judge ordered the mother to submit to a hair follicle drug test. Now, these children's ages range from 4 months to 7 years old. They've been in DCS custody for a month after their parents were pulled over and the father was charged with possession of marijuana in Coffee County. Today, a juvenile judge ruled the children should remain in DCS custody. Many of the details of this case are being kept secret, specifically why the judge ordered DCS to take custody of the children in the first place. DCS says state law prohibits them from disclosing these details, but it's also in the children's best interest. But the family attorney is demanding certain evidence be released, including the THP body and dash camera video that was taken during that traffic stop. She believes the parents should have custody of their children.
This was similar and felt reminiscent of slavery, with the family being forcefully separated as they were, and a mother restrained, 5 children taken away, while one of them were still breastfeeding, the father locked in a cage.
That horrible.
Now, the parents also were supposed to appear in criminal court today, but a judge pushed that hearing back to April 18th. It's unclear.
They didn't get their kids back until May something.
Children taken away from their parents and placed into DCS custody after a traffic stop and a misdemeanor charge. Today, the couple is appearing in court. The family was driving from Georgia to Chicago. Bianca Claiborne and Deontay Williams were pulled over in Coffee County for having dark-tinted windows and driving in the left lane without passing. Arrest documents show a trooper found marijuana in the vehicle and the parents admitted to smoking it. Claiborne's children, ranging from 4 months to 7 years old, were taken away from her. We've been in the courtroom all morning long following this case. News 2's Peyton Kennedy is live at the courthouse in Manchester now with the update.
Nicole, good morning. A lot of movement since we last talked at 11. As we said, the parents were up in juvenile court to start their morning. They then went down to criminal court and are now back up in juvenile court, as there may have been a decision made in that case. But it is a closed courtroom, so only the parents are inside. DCS could not comment on what exactly is being discussed in that hearing, but they said it could be anything pertaining to the safety and well-being of the children. Now, about 25 supporters and family members were in a waiting room next door as this hearing progressed. Again, it is a closed session, but the family was aware of what was going on. DCS says the 5 children are currently staying with a family member.
The mom wasn't smoking pot. The dad was.
They always look for kinship placement first, but all legal decisions are up to DCS as of right now. The children were in that waiting room as well. They were playing with their siblings and family members. I talked with the caretaker, who says she has their safety and security top of mind. We spoke with DCS as well, and after that, a handful of Coffee County residents spoke up against DCS practices.
And I know there was a component too where it talked about race. And I did want to say that the case managers that are working this case, they come from diverse backgrounds. Nearly 35% of DCS is African American. 50% of our deputy commissioners are African American. So as far as training and inclusivity, that's something that's important to the department. And I just wanted to make sure that that was understood as well.
And we do.
They told her that. Oh God, shoot! I gotta find that article I read. They gave her an option. I can barely hear it with the headphones. Really? Oh, I'm sorry. Should have told me earlier.
Tonight, two Black parents are in a desperate fight with the state of Tennessee over custody of their children.
5 children taken away while one of them were still breastfeeding. The father locked in a cage, having to make bond for a citable offense.
Emotions running high after more than a month of separation following a traffic stop. This nightmare for Deontay Williams and Bianca Claiborne began on February 17th when the family was pulled over while driving from Atlanta to Chicago for a funeral. An arrest warrant obtained by NBC News says Tennessee Highway Patrol stopped Williams for having dark tint and driving in the left lane while not actively passing. An officer smelled weed and after searching the car, found a gun, officials say, and 2 small amounts of marijuana. The warrant also alleges both the driver and the female passenger admitted to smoking marijuana. Williams was arrested for possession, while Claiborne was given a citation.
We did not arrest the mother in this particular case. That's where we left it. The children were left the mother had custody of the children.
But hours later, something changed.
She was sitting outside the Criminal Justice Center waiting to get her partner out. And then DCS approached trying to take the children away.
All 5 children, ages 3 months to 7 years old, were taken by Child Protective Services. State Senator London Lamar is among those demanding the children be returned.
I've never heard of children being ripped away from their family for a misdemeanor charge on some simple drug possession when marijuana is legal in half the states in the country.
Their attorney telling NBC News the children were not returned to their parents after a hearing in juvenile court Monday and remain in foster care tonight, pending the results of a drug test.
It's certainly extreme, but the problem is that courts in family law have such vast discretion to decide what they want to do on a case-by-case situation.
The Department of Children's Services says caseworkers acted appropriately.
You know, we talk about transparency a lot, whether that be policy, procedure, protocol, and in this case, we feel like those case managers did just that.
The department did not clarify the grounds for removal, but told NBC News in a statement, DCS and law enforcement follow protocol for collecting evidence. Those findings are then presented to the court. In this instance, the evidence resulted in the court placing children in DCS custody. Tonight, still more questions than answers, as Williams and Claiborne vow they won't stop fighting for their kids.
This has got to end.
And Priscilla Thompson joins us now.
That is legal kidnapping. That's what they do. Hold on.
From Atlanta. Priscilla, this seems like a very significant step for a misdemeanor. Is it common for child services to take children away from their family after a misdemeanor charge like this?
Well, Ellison, it's extremely rare, according to the expert that we spoke to. And one of the key questions here is what prompted the Department of Children's Services to step in hours after the Tennessee Highway Patrol had released these children back into the custody of their mother. And so tonight, there are still a lot of questions about this, as it has now been more than a month since those parents have been and had those children in their custody. And experts also tell us that it can take weeks, if not months, to reverse a decision like this. Ellison?
Priscilla, have you heard anything else from officials about this case?
We have not received any updates from officials. What they have told us is that there is a gag order in place, and because there are juveniles involved in all of this, they are not allowed to speak about this. And we also know that the attorney for the family is now saying that she's limited on what she can say because of that gag order, as well as they wait to see whether or not those children will be returned in the coming days. The attorney says that she expects to have an update by the end of this week. Ellison?
Crazy, huh? There's no reason to have your kids taken away like that. Just saying. Hey, Miss Barbara. How are you, sweetie? Okay, what I took from that, but I'm not 100%. I think the family, they smelt it. They smelt the weed. It would be nice to see the body cam footage, though. every state's different. And from my understanding, it's illegal to have weed in Tennessee, I guess. Okay, let's see, right here.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Bob Mueller.
And I'm Haley Road.
While driving from Georgia to Chicago, Bianca Claiborne and her partner, Deontay Williams, were stopped by state troopers. According to court documents, it was for having dark tinted windows and also driving in the left lane without passing. After being pulled over, documents say the trooper smelled marijuana and the parents admitted to smoking it. Troopers found 0.17 ounces of marijuana in the car. Later on, Claiborne's 5 kids were taken into DCS custody after a court ruling. The kids are young, ranging from 4 months old to 7 years old.
And my oldest child, he was just looking at me like confused. And I just gave him a hug and I told him it's not your fault.
Now, Democratic senators are calling for DCS to release the kids back to the parents.
It is absolutely ridiculous when marijuana is illegal in about half the states in the country that a Black family got 5 of their children taken away, put into DCS that's not doing a good job of taking care of the children they already have, and they won't give them their children back for a misdemeanor charge.
In a statement, the district attorney says there's more to the story than the mother and her attorneys have put out. Highway Patrol says there was a weapon in the vehicle in possession of a convicted felon, but we have yet to see any charges filed related to that claim.
We did not arrest the mother in this particular case, and with the intentions of leaving the children with her, and that's where we left it.
DCS says they can't comment on cases and adds DCS and law enforcement follow protocol for collecting evidence. Those findings are then presented to the court. In this instance, the evidence resulted in the court placing children in DCS custody. As lawyers and officials talk, Claiborne and Williams are in Georgia.
It's like death.
Awaiting court dates.
Having children that's out in the world and you can't physically see, touch, or anything like that, it's mind-boggling.
Claiborne's attorneys say DCS is now retaliating against them for releasing certain legal documents to the public. DCS did not respond to comment on that. We're also continuing to ask the department what evidence they collected that led to these children being put in state custody. Bob?
See? Hold on. What's going on here?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Bob Mueller.
Sorry about that. I'm going to go here. Oh. Here we go. This last one here.
Lost custody of their 5 children following a traffic stop in Tennessee. Deontay Williams is the father. Back in February, he says his family was traveling to Chicago for a funeral when they were pulled over in Tennessee for a tinted window and for riding in the left lane without actively passing. The stop led to a search of the family's car, and a small amount of weed was allegedly found, leading to a legal saga involving both parents. Now, Williams is speaking out, saying he feels he was targeted and treated unfairly. He spoke with our Teresa Bowles in a story you will only see on 11 Alive.
It felt like I was dying, honestly, on the inside.
Father of 5, Deontay Williams, says 2 months without his kids felt like an eternity.
I started having anxiety attacks, but I literally felt like the inside of my body just was like, just at a sag, a slump, like my liver, my heart, like I couldn't bring myself to eat.
Williams temporarily lost custody of his children after a traffic stop in Tennessee. He says he and the mother of his children, Bianca Claiborne, were traveling to Chicago. The Coffee County District Attorney says the Highway Patrol stopped them for a dark tint and traveling in the left lane while not actively passing. The trooper reportedly found 5 grams of weed in the vehicle.
The blunt that they arrested me for. But I asked to see the supervisor. Like, let's get some, why am I going to jail? You know what I'm saying? What's this about? Shut up, you're a criminal. They put their hands on me, got rough.
Williams says both he and Claiborne were tested for marijuana. Williams was positive, but Claiborne was not. Williams says the Department of Children's Services bombarded Claiborne's vehicle while she was on her way to bail him out. Williams says they were eventually accused of doing meth and fentanyl.
They did a hair follicle test, came back in 2 minutes. He came back with the paper wrote in. We done took 2 more since then. None of them looked like that. The people seen this and was like, who the hell did this? We don't partake. How is it possible?
This led to the kids being taken away. Williams' youngest is 5 months, the oldest 7.
They held her down and took a newborn baby. They tried to make her pee in a car. You know what I'm saying? It's 4 dudes and 3 men, y'all around the car looking at this black woman pee. I come out, my kid's gone, and we don't hear nothing for 5 days.
Williams says he spent thousands on lawyers and fees, but progress has been made. Last week, a judge released the kids back to Williams, and that led to a big reunion last weekend. Williams feels the actions of Tennessee officials have been unacceptable, but he admits that he's happy things are finally getting back to normal.
I kind of had a feeling like it was going to work out that day. Nobody likes that need to be in a position to break someone's family up. When you're doing it out of evilness, out of racism, you discriminate.
Williams says his next criminal hearing is May 23rd, but he does plan to fight this in civil court.
Yeah. And this ain't the only case where they've taken kids like this. So I'm going to continue doing research on Daniel Boyd. Hey, let me see. Hey, Gia. What is the Lawless Files? There's a new post on Lawless Files. What's that? I gotta look up what's a Lawless Files. Lawless Files. Oh, it's a true crime thing show. Huh. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Tinted windows. Oh my God, tinted windows. Oh, geez. I have no idea. Let me look. Yeah, I think she's talking about this channel here. Did he do something on Timmy D's? I wouldn't if I wasn't living it. This is the only thing that I don't see any new videos. The last video was a year ago. I don't know why I can't find. Is it something about Timmy? You got my phone number. You can send it that way. Text it to me. Yeah, I can't find it. That's so weird. I know, right? Of course you can. Here you go, Miss Barbara.
Hello.
Hello, Miss Barbara.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm surviving.
Yeah, what's going on?
Well, there's a lot of information about Timmy's case that came out today.
Oh.
And on the Lawless files, and there's documents there, and there's audio of Caleb, Trevor, and Mike busking, and how they've told 3 different stories, and it talks about the you can hear them talking. It's
no.
And how they've changed their stories and their timelines. All 3 of their timelines are different. One of them says he went out to pee, never came back at 2 in the morning. Another person said that he went out to get some fresh air, never came back. Caleb said he went looking for him. And then when they questioned Mike Busking said he drove with Caleb to look for him. I mean, there's so much there. It's a 45-minute thing.
Really?
Yes, there's a lot of documents that I can prove on what I'm talking about. And there's an audio of how the highway patrol talked to me.
Really?
Calling me a liar and stuff. It's unreal. If I wasn't living it, I wouldn't believe it. It's a lot.
Where's the podcast at?
It's on the Lawless files. He's an investigator reporter out of Cape Girardeau.
Because I went and looked on the YouTube channel, And the last video on there was a year ago.
I know. And how did we find it, Jimmy?
Well, he sent it to us personally, so
Oh,
we could
he
even.
yeah, I had to, I guess, approve it first. So I don't know if he has it on his channel yet.
Oh, okay.
But I have the link to it, so I don't know how to send it to you, but it's very interesting. I'd like you to look at it because it just blows me away how they did Timmy's case. They even said something about when they're questioning, was it Caleb or Trevor? It was Caleb. This is Burger King. Have it your way. Now, how can a police officer, detective say something like that about a human being? Like, it's funny. My son's dead. Have it your way. I mean, that's been eating at me tonight that he had the nerve to say that detective said that. This is like Burger King. Have it your way.
Wow. Yeah, I don't like law enforcement there either.
Oh, and there's another girl missing from Fredericktown right now that's 15 years old.
Really?
Yes, and I went to an event there yesterday because any event they have there, I'm going to be there. And
yeah,
they try to hide their events from me now, but doesn't work.
Oh, jeez.
That's all right. I know enough people now that tell me when the events are happening and where and what time.
Yeah.
So I went yesterday and I talked to the police there and they said it was a runaway. Well, then I talked to the family and the family said she wasn't a runaway because the family gave me a flyer and stuff. She's 15 years old and she's missing from Fredericktown. She lives in Farmington and now she's gone. She's been gone for what, a week now? Yeah.
5 days, 6 days.
Really?
So now we've got, since Timmy, we got Jesse Wilfon that was found dead, chopped up. Another guy that they found in the park, they're saying he hung himself with his belt. And now we got a 15-year-old girl missing. And another guy died, they said just of a heart attack by a trap house. Something seriously wrong going down there.
I wonder, law enforcement has to be involved somehow in this stuff.
Well, same sheriff, same highway patrol, and the same coroner. You tell me what's going on.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
I went to the prosecutor and I said, it seems to me like the sheriff and highway patrol tell the coroner what to write on the papers for these deaths, and that's what they do.
What do you say?
Well, I can't prove it, but he said, yeah.
Is that what he said?
No, I said I can't prove it.
Oh, okay.
I don't have it on audio because I usually pretty much record stuff now, but I just went in with a meeting with him and tried to talk to him. And he said, well, I think that's what's going on too, but that's hearsay from me, you know. But he did say it. I have no reason to lie about it.
Yeah, that's one thing you're not.
Right. But I just thought you might want to look at that because we just looked at it and listened to it, and it has the audio of when they well, if you want to call it interrogation, because I've never been in trouble to have to be interrogated, but I wouldn't say, yeah, have a seat. This is like Burger King. Have it your way. I mean, what kind of detectives does that?
Does he have body cam footage too?
No, I just got the audio. I still don't have, I can prove by documents that I don't have everything that I even paid for.
Wow. Don't they realize you're not going away?
I know. I just
They know for sure now.
Well, they better know it. I was just there Saturday, rode their horses with my signs, talked to everybody, handed out bracelets.
Oh, God.
I went to Florida with my family for a week just to get away from it for a little while, but I handed out bracelets in 7 states. I'm not going anywhere. They'll have to kill me.
Karen says hi, Miss Barbara.
Oh, I said hi. I just happened to get on here and I heard you guys talk, and it was like, wow, man, you guys really need to see this thing. That I mean,
Oh, I'll be.
I am like baffled of the way they talk to them. They talk to these criminals like their buddies, or like they're telling them what to say.
Probably are.
And Mike Busking says, well, if you just look within a mile radius, you'll find him. Well, how do you know unless you put him there?
Yeah, you already know in your heart that Caleb is.
Well, then my boyfriend Jimmy, he had to have a procedure done at his doctor's office, and his doctor and the secretaries and all of them have been keeping up with Timmy's story, and we got to talking about it, and they're trying to say that Timmy had some kind of bone disease. What was it called?
He had a pediatric infection which caused his bone to be pivoted at an early childhood onset. And that's the reasoning that the pathologist mentioned that. But when she described that he had no hair, no nothing left, my doctor said, something's really wrong with this picture. And he said, how you do that? And he named the chemical, and he said, that's just not right. And I looked that up that long ago. And again, I used to be a nurse, and I know that in 6 months, I don't care if you're out in the weather and the rain, the
Timmy shouldn't have had all his
cartilages,
hair.
the ligament, there should have been hair in that hoodie.
He didn't have hair?
He had no hair, no fingernails, no cartilage, no nothing.
Oh my God.
And his left hand was gone, the one that had the bionic tattoo on it.
No.
And there's supposed to be a criminal crime scene investigative unit, but yet they took no samples, soil samples or anything, which you can, if there's bugs or anything that have been eating on it, they will lay eggs on the ground, and they can actually take the pupa of the egg and get the DNA and tell exactly what was in the system when they were supposedly, if, as the Highway Patrol claims, that natural climate caused it, birds, animals. I looked at it. I've been to the cadaver farms, and I'm telling you, I've never seen things so clean in 6 months ever in my life.
Really?
I've seen them 3 to 7 years out still have
more than
tissue
Jimmy had.
Yeah.
So Jimmy's doctor told us they had to put some kind of chemical on him to do that.
Oh, jeez, no.
I have, at this point, I probably got books here of documents, and they've never sat down with me and asked me to, I've offered to show them what I have, and they told me all my stuff was lies.
Oh.
I said, well, how do you know it's lies? You've never looked at it.
No, they're the liars.
And Timmy never had no childhood disease. If he did, I would know it. He lived with me since the day he was born.
Well, it would have been something very traumatic that he would have had to been hospitalized for. If it affected all of his bone from head to toe.
And then there's some things that they did to his body, and it's not even reported on the coroner's report.
Yeah.
They fixed some things up, and then they didn't even say, they acted like they didn't do anything.
Why would you put things in place that was out of place?
Oh.
I mean, it wasn't like it was going to be an open casket, but yet it just again, it's so far fetched. It's like, I mean, to me, it's like reading a Stephen King novel. It's just
sounds like it.
It's so freaking out there that it's like she says, if she wasn't living it, I wouldn't believe it.
So did he get the audio of the interview?
I did.
Oh,
I did a sunshine law request and got the audio of them questioning Caleb, Trevor, and Mike Busking, and they're on that.
Took 6 months.
That drive. Oh yeah, it took me 6 months, and they charged me $560 for it.
According to Missouri law, they have to have that to you within 30 days.
Took me 6 months.
Oh.
But then they come out, the new attorney general, saying that he's going to see to it and put new people in charge of getting the Sunshine Law Acts presented in a more timely manner.
And make you pay more.
Yeah, and because I'm telling you, I'm sure they've all caught so much grief off of this, because Barb's been to Jeff City many times. We've sent Sunshine Law Acts. What's the other for the federal?
For the
FBI. Freedom of Information Act. That's for the FBI, CIA, or any of that. If the case is closed, you can send them that. They have, because there's public funding into it, they have to give you that information.
But like pulling teeth getting it.
Well, and you paid.
And the FBI is still.
That's crazy. You shouldn't even have to pay anything, because you're a victim of that crime.
Correct.
They made me pay $560, and they didn't give it to me all of it, because I have documents proving they didn't give it all to me after I even paid it.
Well, and they're saying the FBI wasn't involved, but yet on 2 of the questionings of 2 of the suspects, it shows FBI, and then where it right beside says FBI, they redacted it. It's blacked out.
Oh, of course.
And the Highway Patrol are trying to say, we never worked with the FBI. We never asked the FBI for help.
And I said they did, because I talked to the FBI and they called me a liar like 5 times.
Straight up called her a liar.
Wow. Well, I'll be interested in watching that Lawless Files whenever it comes out.
Well, you know.
I'll send you the link on Messenger.
Yeah.
It's something. I'm telling you.
And this guy has went above and beyond, going through all this info.
When I'm done here, I've got probably a couple of books.
She's probably got 2,000 pages of texts.
Documents. I offered it to the Highway Patrol, and they told me all my stuff is lies.
Oh.
I said, well, how do you know they're lies? You haven't even looked at it.
Well, and they're and during the questioning, they're leading the.
You have to listen to it, because if you wouldn't listen to it and didn't hear it, you wouldn't believe it.
They're leading the people that they're questioning on how to answer the question.
It's
they give them the answer before they ever, it's like, okay, we heard that he would be found naked, and then the one guy had been spreading all over the countryside. Well, when you find Timmy's body, he'll be naked, and all you're going to find is bones. Well, what's the irony that all there was left was bones?
God, that's sick.
And his left hand was gone.
Yeah, that's weird.
And again, there's a couple other things that we can't say yet, but
yeah,
it's a travesty. I mean, to listen to these guys that are supposedly professionals, been in the business for 20, 30 years, and it sounds like Barney Fife questioning somebody.
Really?
I'm seriously, Barney Fife had more intelligence than these guys. They shouldn't even, like I said, I wouldn't even give them a job to hand out popsicles to children.
Yeah.
Like I said, when he said to Caleb, have a seat, this is like Burger King.
That did it right there.
Have it your way. I was like, what?
I thought she was going to punch me.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
she
know how
was
furious
furious.
that made me to think that you think that you're going to talk like that, like it's a joke. It was my baby.
A human life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And regardless of the circumstances, when you're doing an investigation, the
They're
whole
talking.
point of it is to find out the truth, not what a bunch of guys that's been cooking meth for 40 years. You don't
And
take
shooting
him.
meth.
You don't take their word at their word, but they just whatever they said, hook, line, and sinker. Okay, end of story. Let's close the case.
And then get mad at me because I ask questions. There's an audio on there of me talking to them in the way that they're talking to me. It's terrible.
Lord. He told her she was one of.
I was
don't know,
lacking
but you might
intelligent. He said, I'm lacking intelligent. I don't know for sure, but you might be. And I said, I assure you, sir, that's not
mean.
the case. I said, that's not the case. I said, all I want is a reasonable explanation of what happened to my son, and you won't tell me.
He said, you might be one of those people that can't accept reality. Now, I'm not saying that you are, but you could be. And oh my God, I mean, you're talking to a mother, regardless of the circumstances.
Yeah.
You don't talk to a parent like that. And still not give you the answer.
And then they're asking one of the guys, what do you think happened to him?
Is that what he said?
Yeah. He asked Mike Busking, what do you think happened to him? And then he asked Caleb, was he suicidal? And Caleb says, well, I don't know. What made Caleb a counselor or a psychologist that they would ask him that question?
Weird.
Oh, man.
That's okay. Once I hear this, I'll be able to expose them even more.
Right on. Because like I said, it's just, once you get to the end, you kind of have to listen to it again because it just sounds like the most stupid detective work ever.
Do you got the names to all the cops that were in on this?
Yes.
Investigation? Because you know, Miss Barbara, that I will look into them also. Like I did that. What's her name? Katie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff Johnson, John West.
Jeff Johnson.
And their boss is the one that's calling me a liar like 5 times.
Well, I'm going to look into that, Mr. Liar guy.
What is his name? Stolting.
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 What was his first name?
Oh, Stolting. Okay. Did you say you were just down there this weekend again?
I was just in Fredericktown again Saturday.
On Saturday? Okay.
Yeah. I'm not leaving Fredericktown.
I know you're not. I don't mean to laugh, but
I know.
And
the thing of it is everybody, all of the decent people around there, they'll yell from across the courtyard, "Hey, Barbara."
I had numerous people say, please don't leave. We need help here.
Oh.
And now
you're a little spitfire.
Young girl missing there.
Yeah, now there's just this past week, there's a 15-year-old girl that went missing there. The police tried to tell us that, she's a runaway, blah, blah, blah. We just spoke with her family and they said that's an absolute lie. They've got her little
name?
flyer. Huh?
Miss Barbara, do you know her name?
We'd have to look it up. It's well, let me look here because it's on my page. I can find it really quick.
Okay.
I can send you a picture of her and her flyer.
Okay. Do that and I'll be on it.
One word.
Well, I just have a really bad feeling on that. I do.
Right here,
her name is what?
Let's see, Chloe Adams.
Chloe Adams.
Chloe Adams?
Yeah, and I had the flyer in my hand when I was walking around because I talked to the families.
And I asked them if there was anything I could do to help them. They gave me a flyer. So I walked right up to the cops. I said, hey, what's up with this girl being missing? They made this big story up about how she's a runaway, blah, blah, blah. Well, then when I was getting ready to leave, I saw the families leaving too. And I went up and I go, hey, can I talk to you? And they were like, yeah. And I said, what's really going on here? I said, because the cops are telling me she's a runaway. Is that true? And they said, no, she is not a runaway. They just want everybody to believe she is.
Well, here's what it says from Farmington, Missouri area friends. My 15-year-old sister, Chloe Adams, went missing from Fredericktown, Missouri on 8/16/23. The first photo is from the past week. Her hair is currently brown. She recently moved to the area and doesn't really know anyone. She has met up with a stranger online from the area before and lied about her age. So check with your friends. The police are looking out for her, and if you see anything, blah, 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 call so-and-so, Madison County Police Department. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Do you see, I went to the active missing person, and they don't even have her picture on there. Look it. I put it on the screen for you guys. Look it. Look it. They don't have a picture for her.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're not taking it serious. Just want to
Nope.
because
Look at
Jimmy
that.
and I talked to them, and they said they made it out to be. They made it out to be like no big deal, and I'm like, well, this family's over here crying. They're handing out flyers. They're not doing it for no reason.
Right.
Yeah, they got flyers on the tape to the picnic tables and stuff like that. And chief of police, he just thinks he's God's greatest gift to police enforcement and women. And you notice he had them same boots on that was when they were.
Yeah, he was the one that was picking up Timmy's bones.
And he had the same cowboy boots on that day they were picking up Timmy.
I know.
Like, dude, you go to a crime scene and you wear your personal boots. And
what?
Then, yeah.
Whoa.
And we're talking probably $1,200 ostrich boots.
What?
Yeah. Something is going on in Fredericktown, Missouri. I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah.
Got a brand new home. Got all kinds of new campers and stuff. He makes maybe $56,000 a year.
Wow.
But lives like a king.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about it is my sister lives in a town the same exact size as Fredericktown. They've had 4 murders in the past 20 years, and they've solved all of them. Well, Fredericktown's got 8 in the last 2.
In 2 years.
I'm really worried about that girl. I don't think they're going to find her alive. That's the scary thing.
Yeah, and I can't believe they don't have her picture. She's 15 years old.
Right.
Teenagers have tons of pictures of themselves.
Well, I have her picture, but because I got a flyer from their family. But the thing is, when we even talked to them about it, they just blew us off like it was no big deal.
Oh, that poor family.
I know.
Yeah. She looked at Barbara. And
She started
it was
crying,
all she could do.
and I started crying. I had to just walk away for a few minutes because I know how they feel, and I could feel it from them. And it's a lot.
And they look stunned because the police are saying she ran away. It was like, what do we do now? And Barbara just told her, she said, don't stop.
Is she on the Missing in Missouri website on Facebook?
Yeah, I put it on there.
Okay, I figured you would.
I put it on every missing person. I even put it on worldwide missing.
Something just ain't right in that town anyways, period.
Somebody needs to go in there. Oh, and then Ironton told me, listen to this one. Ironton told me that when I did the Sunshine Law request to them that I cannot have the paperwork. Well, the sheriff and the deputies all went to jail. So I called him back. And I said, well, what do I do with my sunshine law request now? I still want them documents. And they told me, well, we talked to our lawyer, and our lawyer told us not to give you nothing. So I made a complaint to the attorney general. After I did that, they took all my history off that app. But see, I'm not that stupid. I got screenshots.
Oh,
to prove what they did.
Yeah, it shows where all the calls and all the messages they had together, deleted.
Wow.
I learned real quick. You screenshot before you even read stuff.
Yeah. Because wasn't it on Timmy's Facebook? Somebody, something got deleted off his page after he was.
Somebody checked in on his Facebook account 27 days after it would have been one day, it would have been a month. And then when I brought it up, they got back on his page and took it down. Well, when I said something to the Highway Patrol about it, anybody can do that. I said, no, sir, I can't take my phone and go check you in Fredericktown.
Yeah.
And he said he wasn't going to do nothing about it. That the case was closed. I found out the case was closed right after they found him. They led me to believe it. They were still doing something and they didn't.
The sad part of it is, and I'm not boasting by no means, but Barb had done a episode with Bob Miller, and she said, all I want to do is find my son so I can put him with his brother.
Yep.
Take him home, put him with his brother. I said, Barb, you watch. They will find him within the next 3 to 5 days. 3 days later, he was found. They figured, well, being she said that, we'll give her what she wants and she'll go away.
Okay.
Oh, and then I went to that's another thing I went to. I watched their new building called the Justice Center. So you know me by now. I'm not going to miss anything.
Oh yeah.
So I found out.
I know.
I found out they were having a big reunion there to cut the ribbons. So I showed up.
I showed up.
I had my signs and I had my bracelets and my shirt. And I go in there and they go, well, you can't have the signs. I said, that's all right. My shirt says it all. I got pictures of it even. So then we're standing there. The sheriff was there. Everybody that Jimmy and I sat down with at the commissioners meeting was there. Nobody said even hello to me. But I'm one of them kind of people. I'll say hello to you anyway, even if you ignore me. So I said to the old judge, I go, oh, you retired. Looks like you got a pretty good tan. You've been fishing, and he just walked by.
Oh, my God.
I go, okay, whatever. So then we stand in line to get the pictures taken. They take the old judge and his wife and put this 6-foot man in front of me. And I was like, I looked at my friend and I go, seems to me like nobody wants us in this picture. And she goes, oh, it ain't like that. I go, oh, yeah, it's absolutely like that. So I dipped in front of him and I kneeled on the floor. I said, I'm getting in this picture.
And their property is where they found Timmy.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the judge's property, him and his wife. Yeah.
The judge's property? The judge.
The judge.
The judge.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And then they said, well, this is what they told me. You need to go on with your life. His wife did. I go, I don't have a life to go on to.
What is wrong with her?
I go, I don't have a life to go on to. She goes, yes, you do. And you just need to move on with your life. You're never going to find out what happened to your son anyway. You need to move on with your life. I said, ma'am, I'm not going anywhere. And she said that to me about 8 times.
She said, you will never, ever
find out
what happened to your son.
Wow.
And the sad part of it is they drove across a bridge every day to and from out of their home, which was less than 50 feet to 75 feet from where they found him.
Jimmy was out. Yeah.
And how could you not notice that time of the year? You know what I mean? There would have been crows, vultures,
yeah,
coyotes, whatever. But the thing of it is, having been a nurse, I went through all of them. There's no teeth marks other than on one rib cage, one rib, the tip of a rib. But there's no teeth marks. They said that the animals had them bodies scattered everywhere. They was all within less than a 10-yard radius.
They're making up stuff.
They
I got documents to prove
They
this
got
stuff.
a document showing a grid of where they found each individual body part, and they make it look like it's over 350 yards across in length, and it's the whole area is not much bigger than a 12 by 12 room.
Oh.
So everything from the pathologist to the coroner to the
Highway
patrol, the Russell Dideker, none of their stories match. None of them.
Their timelines don't even match.
Yeah.
I mean, they're saying that they what was it? Marion was just talking about.
I don't know. We just listened to it tonight. It just got done. But the thing that bugs me a lot of it bugs me. But how do you interrogate somebody and say, "Oh, have a seat. This is like Burger King.
Have it your way.
Have it your way." What?
Yeah, that blows me away.
That's disgusting.
And this is one of the lead detectives from the Truth East Missouri State Highway Patrol.
Yeah. I just want it blown up everywhere. How?
Well, it will for me. Believe me. Karen says, "Is that girl someone we have shared on Twitter?" No. They don't even have her. They don't even have her picture on their active person.
Tell Karen to go on my page. It's on there.
On Facebook?
Yeah, my personal page.
Go to Mrs. Barbara's personal Facebook. And I'll get that girl's information out tomorrow too. So tomorrow I'm going to cover Timmy's case and Chloe Adams. And because I'd love to Miss Barbara, you've been watching me. You know how I like to expose bad cops. Judges, you name it. I don't care. I'm not afraid.
I'm not either. I'm telling you, there's a lot of them there.
Yeah, more than I even understood.
I didn't hear about a lot of this until I've been living it.
Oh, okay.
And then when I started living at the courthouse, I started finding out things that's unreal.
So, did they videotape the interrogation?
Yeah, but they magically.
It's like lightning struck. They magically, it went down.
They're out of 7 audios, 5 of them are missing, and all the 911 call and the body cams when they were with Barbara, it took her to a place. There's 3 cops there. They all said their body cams were on. Well, this guy that talked to her this yesterday, telling us about this young girl that's missing, saying, "Oh, she's a runaway. We're working with Cape County." I know better than that. Cape County will not work with Madison County.
They don't want to be
They don't want nothing to do. And so we did the Sunshine Law request to him for the body cam footage. And his very first words in the very first paragraph is, "Unfortunately, on August 3rd, lightning struck our tower and we no longer have the footage of the body cams."
I know, that's sick.
That's twice in a row in less than a year. And I got on the National Weather Bureau. There was not a storm 1 in the state of Missouri on August the 3rd.
Oh, that was smart of you. How do you find Miss Barbara?
Yeah.
Hold on. You know what? I'm just going to give you the link, Karen, to Mrs. Barbara's page. Hold on. I'm running to Facebook real quick. Oh, there you are with your sign.
Yeah, that was my ones that I was there yesterday on the horse.
That ain't a horse, babe. That's a horse, but that's a big old draft horse.
Yeah, well, I was on it.
She said, I want on him. I said, you really want on him? I'll put you on him. And she said, yeah. I tossed her right up there.
This is her Facebook. Right here. But I gotta look at this. It's too cute.
Hey.
Look at this picture. Yeah.
And if you look down on it, on my Facebook page, you'll see them pictures of, yeah, that's the girl that's missing.
Oh, this is her?
Yep.
Oh, man. She's just a baby.
Yeah, she's 15.
Oh, wow. So I'll take care of that tomorrow for sure.
And if you go down on my page, see those signs there?
Yeah.
That's a lawless file thing that he did.
The days after parents, you find
and
out he made a 911
you'll hear
call.
Jeff Johnson talking to me, and he's talking to me like I'm a piece of crap on the road.
He's doing everything but cussing.
This is crazy. Who was talking to you?
Told her she might be one of those women
Oh.
that can't accept reality.
The people love
after that 911.
Who was hugging you, Miss Barbara? Who was that?
Oh, there's all kinds of people that come up and hug me. Ladies crying. They know they have kids. They're saying there is some beautiful people
There's some
there.
awesome people from that town.
It's just, and everybody comes up and hugs me and that begs me not to leave.
Well, the irony of it is, there's 3 communities there. Cobaltville.
Hello?
And then,
You're welcome, Karen. Are you there? Oh, there you are.
Yeah, Karen just friend requested me, so I accepted it so she can go on there.
I just wish I lived close to Missouri. I would be there. Believe me.
Yeah, that video there, when you listen to that video, you'll hear Jeff Johnson talking to me. Well, the one that came out tonight, it might not be out for public yet to see, but it's his boss talking to me, and it's worse than the first one.
yeah, that was just a condensed version, and if I know Bob, he's probably going to do a little tweaking on the editing and stuff, but yeah. And what we got was just what he had, and he pretty much sent it to her for her approval to put it out there.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like he did. I never heard of him.
He actually helped solve a murder charge back in 1994. He was still in college, and he was getting his degree as far as an investigative reporter. And man, he was a hound dog on that.
That video you're playing right there, that was Timmy's birthday.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, so we went out. No, that was a year that Timmy was found.
Yeah, that's Barbara and I.
And if you listen to the audio of that, it talks about all the things. That's Timmy. That's when we buried Timmy.
Oh.
But you hear Jeff Johnson talking to me in that video. And that has made people mad. Well, they ain't heard nothing yet. That was the nice one.
Well, and you've been saying this whole time how you've been getting treated out there, and no one's believed you. Well, I did, but.
Well, it's just like Bob said at the end of this last one, as the only truth that's really ever been found has been brought to the attention by Barbara. My new nickname for her is Tigger.
Tigger?
Yeah. Off
Cute.
Winnie the Pooh. She just bounces, and
Hey.
she finds the truth.
I'll run up to anybody and give them bracelets and tell them
Well,
what's going on.
And that's just it. You know, by word of mouth. By the time she does, we all do our little circle of investigation. It comes out to be reality.
I mean,
Well,
there's
yeah,
not
look at you guys have done.
There's nothing I
Go
haven't
ahead, I'm
put
sorry.
out there that I don't have a document to prove it.
You pretty much have done all the investigating on your
Every
son's
bit of it,
case.
Yeah, but when I said I would like them to look at it, they told me my stuff's lies.
Well, and the crazy thing of it is before, when this all first started happening, and she's getting all these crazy people saying places she'd be that they could find him, I would run and leave my phone at the house just so nobody'd know where I was at, because I was going in some really, really shady places.
Oh.
And doing my own investigation, you know, and people were saying, well, he's here and he's there.
Can
I
you
checked them all
play
out.
that video and hear it?
Sure. Hold on. Let me get to it.
Hear
Let's start from the beginning. There we go.
A town you didn't know.
Here we go.
Imagine that the days after his disappearance, you find out that he made a 911 call the night he disappeared. Imagine learning your son told the dispatcher that a friend was threatening him. Imagine knowing your son was pleading for help. Imagine learning the police never attempted to make contact with your son after that 911 call. Instead, they took a man into custody on a warrant from another town. Imagine having trouble getting local police to help you search for your son. Imagine being told it wasn't their case, that you didn't have proof he disappeared from their town, despite the 911 call. Imagine going months not knowing where your son was. Imagine sitting day after day after day after day in front of the courthouse with signs begging for information about your son's whereabouts. Imagine one summer day, your son's body is finally found in a ravine. Nothing left but his bones. There's not even any hair or tissue to perform a toxicology.
Oh, that's interesting.
Imagine having 100 questions as to how your son died. Imagine not knowing why. Imagine that after finding your son's body, the police tell you your son died of his own accord. Imagine them telling you that without any evidence. Imagine those same investigators close the investigation into your son's death. Imagine having to make public records requests to get the information as to how investigators came to that conclusion. Imagine making one last plea for answers. Well, this last part you don't have to imagine. This is what that last plea sounds like.
Why I have you on the phone, is there any way I can ask you why Timmy's phone records from that
Barb, I'm just going to tell you, every time I talk to you, my words get twisted and turned, so I'm not going to talk to you, okay? I'll provide you any information that I can as far as what I have to provide you and what's going on. But every time that happens, I end up taking a back seat and being made to look foolish, and I'm just not in the mood to engage in conversation concerning anything any further, okay?
Well, I just don't understand why Timmy's Facebook page hasn't been checked into.
We've explained this to you until I'm blue in the face, and I don't mean to be rude. I don't want to be curt to you. I'm going to be as professional as I can when I tell you I'm not taking any other any other phone calls from you. You can speak to my supervisor. You can speak to his supervisor or his supervisor.
Well, then how do I speak to the supervisor?
Call up the Troop E&S, speak to Master Sergeant Scott Stolte.
Scott.
S-T, yeah, are you ready?
Yep.
S-T-O-L-T-I-N-G. S-T-O.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, what an asshole.
Oh, that's the nice one. And he's saying that he's
Barbara Hall
talking
has
to
her
me
phone
till
full
I'm
of text
blue in the
messages,
face.
screenshots, and potential leads. But not once has the Missouri Highway Patrol sat with her to see what she knows. They never interviewed her about the disappearance of her son. They didn't ask who he was around, what he was going through, what his personality was, what might have happened. Barbara Hall is on a mission now. She's gathered more evidence. She wants her son's death investigation reopened. Investigators don't seem willing to listen. But what about you?
And that's the nicest one that they've ever talked to me. And then they're saying that they talk to me till I'm blue in the face. They never talk to me. How can you tell me you talk to me till I'm blue in the face and answer these questions? You never answered these questions because you didn't talk to me about the questions.
Yeah.
But he's rude every time I try to talk. He's just, you see how the nicer I am, the madder they get, because I don't have my power over the people.
Yeah, he just literally talks over her.
And his boss is worse, and his boss is in the next video.
That's sick.
Yeah.
I can't believe how he talked to you.
Yeah, I mean, a mother mourning her son.
Knowing I just lost my other son, it ain't like they didn't know I just lost my son, Michael. They knew. And then this other one, it's like the drug dealers are making Timmy sound like he's a junkie, and Timmy was not a junkie. Timmy was struggling, but he was not a junkie. All these people that they're listening to and talking to are talking bad about Timmy like he was some kind of junkie, and he wasn't.
And if he was, it don't matter.
That's right.
Yeah, but they are is what bothers me. They are, and you're trying to put my son down.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is the
I
sad
know
part.
that for a fact.
They're taking the word of a man that's 47 years old, been cooking mess since he was 9. Everybody in the country knows this, and they're talking to him like he's their best friend. And everything that man says, they take it like it's gospel.
Oh, that's just that was the one they put out a few months ago. Now the next one that goes to this one, it came out tonight.
I cannot believe that.
I'll make sure I get it to you because I had to approve it first.
That's okay, because I'm going to use that little soundbite. And what was that guy's name again? What's that cop's name?
Jeff Johnson.
Jeff Johnson.
That was the one that was involved in Timmy's case. He was the one that was in charge in the beginning.
Is he Madison County or Jeffrey? Or
he's a Highway Patrol Troop E out of Poplar Bluff.
Okay.
And his boss, now you think that's bad. You should hear how his boss is talking to me. He's calling me a liar. He's yelling at me. I can't say anything without him interrupting me. Every time I tried to talk, and he even got me all stuttering. He got me so upset just trying to talk to him because, and I don't start screaming and going off on people. I won't do it.
Horrible.
Yes. No, you wouldn't believe it. You're not going to believe it when you hear it. When I heard them sit, they brought Caleb in, sat him down. I'm pretty sure it was Caleb, and he goes, and he says, well, can I have, where do I have a seat? And they said, you can sit anywhere. This is like Burger King.
Sick.
Have it your way. Now we're talking about a life. It sickened me. I mean, I cried, and I'm just sick to my stomach after listening to it. And I can prove that they didn't give me everything I paid for in the Sunshine Law request either.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Well, I was blessed that I have people that love me and gave it to me, but that's what my plan is. I got so much here. I thought, man, I'll write a book at the end, and then I'm going to go start a GoFundMe in Timmy's name and honoring Timmy and help these families that if it wasn't for my friends and people that love me giving me the money, I wouldn't have the paperwork. So I can't even imagine not having the money and sitting here and just the way they've talked to me and then not get the investigation to know what they, happened.
Sick.
And then Caleb's saying in this, oh, well, I think Timmy's in Vegas. And then in the next minute it says you'll find him in 100-mile yard. Then they said, then they're talking to Caleb like he's a professional counselor. Well, what do you think happened? Oh. They've never sat down and asked me what kind of person Timmy was, but they're asking Caleb what kind of person he was. And Caleb admits he hadn't seen Timmy. They were childhood friends. He was his friend when they were in second grade.
Yeah, he lived with you, right?
Yeah, he stayed with us. Well, he lived with us for a very short period of time, and then you wouldn't see him for a while, and then he'd be back, 3 or 4 days, and then he'd be back because he was homeless.
Yeah.
And I felt sorry for him.
And then one minute he's saying that, and then the next minute he's saying, well, I drove all the way to St. Louis, had to air up my tires 4 times. And by the time I got there, my car's on E because I was dedicated to my friend.
Dedicated to go down there and rob Timmy because Timmy told him he had money.
Yeah. And that's
almost like they preyed on him. They preyed on to get him down there because they knew he had. Then he's saying that Timmy had 100 to 150 Xanax. I called the kid that Timmy was at his house that Caleb picked him up at.
Yeah.
And I know the kid real well. And I said, you don't have to lie to me. Timmy didn't lie to me. He goes, yeah, I know. And I said, did Timmy have Xanax on him? And he goes, yeah, he did. And I go, well, how many would you say he had on him? He goes, maybe 20 at the most, 15 or 20. Well, all the dope heads down there are saying he had 150. Timmy wouldn't run around with 150 Xanax.
I know. Come on now.
I mean, I can tell you, Timmy had problems with sleeping, and he would take a Xanax every once in a while to sleep. But to carry around 100, 150, that kid told me that Timmy did not have that many Xanax on him. He wouldn't even know where to get that many.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And they never went and questioned his friend that Timmy was with that Caleb picked him up at.
Or me or you.
They never questioned Jimmy, never questioned me. I mean, how do you close an investigation? You ain't even talked to the family. I mean, they talked to Timmy's dad, but they never. I told them I had a bunch of information that I could give them, and they said, well, we don't need your information. It's lies.
Yeah. I mean, just like Timmy 2 days before texted me where he was even at. Wanted me to go get him and wanted to come down to my house and spend the weekend with me. And I was like, that's fine. I said, I'm in Cape. I'll come pick you up. And then the next time I talked with him on the phone, it was like there was somebody standing there right beside him. Because we talked for like an hour and 20 minutes. And just, was discussing things. And then all of a sudden he says, I told him, I said, I'll go back to Marble Hill and drop my groceries off and I'll come and get you. I said, I'll call you as soon as I'm done. And then I got to Marble Hill, dropped my groceries off, and I said, I called him, and then he instantly texted me back. He said, I'll call you back. And then he called me back, he called me back. And when he did, it was like somebody was standing right there beside him and he couldn't talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, are you safe? And he's like, yeah.
Oh.
I said, can you tell me where you're at? He said, yeah. He said, I got it. I mean, he stuttered just like this. I got a ride back to the city. I said, where? St. Louis? And he said, Yeah. And I mean, it was like someone was listening in and he couldn't talk.
He sounded scared, like
He sounded scared to death. And so, again, I jump in my rig and I start bolting that way. And then that's when he said, I got a ride.
And then he tells Jimmy he's got money. So,
yeah, he said he'd just get an Uber to my house because I was in Cape. And I said, Timmy, just, it won't take me 20 minutes to get home. Throw the groceries in my house and I can be there within 40, 45 minutes.
It'd be cheaper than an Uber.
Don't get no freaking Uber out in the middle of the country. They're going to charge you $150.
Yeah.
And he said, well, I got money. I said, that's not the issue, Tammy. He said, save your money. I'll come and get you.
There's so much to this stuff. I'm telling you, it's a Lifetime movie.
Yeah. I don't know how you're doing it.
God.
I don't know.
I know I'm doing it. God.
Yeah. I can't believe how they've treated you.
Oh, that's nice. That was the nicest one I got, the way they treated me. Wait till you hear this next one.
Well, I mean, again, the freaking sheriff never even spoke to her
until June 17th. I know the date.
Of this year?
Oh,
no, June 17th when
April, May, June, 3 months later.
She wouldn't talk to me for 3 months, and she saw me standing. Well, you see in that video, I run up to cars and would give flyers out.
And the only reason why she talked to us that day is because we went down, knocked on the door, and requested the Sunshine Law. And the deputy came out and says, well, you can't do that. An attorney has to do that. And I was like, listen, dude, I'm a BA. I was a business agent for the bricklayers. If it's paid by state funding, you have to turn it over to us. And he says, well, I'll have to talk to my boss. And I said, well, you need to get your boss. Barb's like, you need to get your boss out here right now. And he said, well, she's not here right now. So we go up to the top of the corner. It's late in the day. We start collecting all of our big billboards off the telephone poles and stuff. And we get to the car. I'm in the car. This lady pulls up, gives her some roses, praying with her, and the phone rings. And I answer it, and it was Katie, the sheriff.
Yeah.
And I jumped out of the car, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to break up a prayer or whatever. And I was like, Barb, you need to take this call. And the next 10 minutes, we're down there in her office, and she's saying, well, the problem is the catch and release program. And we know all about that. That's basically, if you don't have money to pay for court costs or attorneys or anything like that, they take you, they book you, and then they turn you free.
And Caleb's saying in his recording too that he went to jail about 8:30. Well, I got documents proving that's not true. I mean, I have documents to prove it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they closed the case, telling me that I'm delusional or lacking of common sense.
And one of those mothers that just
can't accept her son's death.
Can't accept her son's death and possibly delusional.
And I said,
Man,
well,
gasket.
I said, sir, I assure you that's not me. I said, I would like a reasonable explanation on what happened to my son, and you're not giving me one. So then he hung up on me. And
he hung up on you?
Yeah. Then he said, there's no point in talking to you. I wouldn't reason with him.
Oh,
so he hangs up on me. And then he calls me back about 5 minutes later. And man, I hit the wrong button on my recorder, so I didn't get that. But it was only a second. He goes, well, I heard drugs was involved and your son died of an overdose. And I said, prove it. And he hung up on me again.
Oh. Incompetent.
Very.
I'm a better investigator than what they did.
Trust me, I know.
I'm becoming a pretty good investigator. I'm telling you.
I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah.
And when this is all said and done, I'm going to help other families because this is nuts to have to live through.
Well, just look at that new little girl that's missing. what's her name again? Chloe Adams.
Yeah.
Where is she?
Nobody's doing anything for her.
They're just telling everybody she ran away.
And like I said, I walked up to and talked to her family. They were crying, and I know how they feel. I started crying, and so then one of the police officers walked by, and I said, "Hey, can I talk to you?" And he said, "Oh, well, sure," because now they're trying to talk, because they're trying to talk me into talking, because all the people there asked me who to vote for sheriff.
Oh,
So
really?
they're wanting me to endorse this guy that they want for sheriff. And I'm like,
which is a crook.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, who's that?
Little young womanizing crook.
yeah, that beats on people. I know he put one guy in the hospital, broke his jaws in 3 places.
Broke his face, yeah.
A cop did that?
Yeah.
With a baton.
Now he's planning on running for sheriff, and he messaged me on Messenger and wants to meet with me. And I'm like, yeah, you want to meet with me because you want me to endorse you to become sheriff. And I thought.
Does the family have like a regular flyer by any
That
chance?
flyer that's on my Facebook.
That's all they got right now? Okay.
Yeah, but
I'll see if one of my friends will make one.
And I asked her to message me. I said, message me. I said, I can get some people that maybe will make you some videos and, you know, and get them out there, because she said nobody's helping them, that they told him he's just go away. I'm like, wow.
She ran away. So you're wasting your time and you're wasting our time.
Who said they're wasting time?
The chief of police.
Oh.
And then when he said they was working with Cape County, I live there. I'm like, I know the people better than that. Cape County will not work with Madison County.
They don't want to be involved in all that. They believe that there's something going on there too. They don't want to work with them.
And they're very thorough in their investigations. I mean, they generally sign or accomplish their goals within the most 6 months on murders, stuff like that, rapes, break-ins. I mean, they have a big team.
They do their jobs right.
They do their jobs. And they actually work with the county that I live in, which is right next to them. And those two work together hand in hand because they do their job.
Something is seriously going on in Fredericktown. There's another guy they found at the park, and there's on March 16th, they're saying he hung himself with his belt.
So he hung himself with his belt.
Yeah. And he had a pocket full of drugs. And the mother's from Louisiana. I actually talked to the mother, and the mother said she made a GoFundMe. I donated a little bit to her, and I messaged her. Well, she didn't get back with me until she picked her son up, because I was going to tell her not to have him cremated. But she told me that when she got to the coroner's office, that they bombarded her and forced her into cremating her son. That's what she told me.
What is going on out there?
Something. But I know it's the same sheriff, it's same highway patrol and same coroner.
Same coroner that told her that. Barb asking
if Timmy had clothes on, and he couldn't tell me.
He didn't have clothes on either?
Well, I asked him. I didn't know at the time. I said, did Timmy have clothes on? And he said he didn't know. I have that on audio too. And I said, did Timmy have clothes on? And he goes, I don't know. I'll call you back tomorrow and I'll let you know. But he was supposed to be on the scene. Well, I'm sorry. If you were on the scene, you'd know if he had clothes.
He said, I can't remember. Well, I'm sorry. In a city of 4,000 people, and you have that kind of a scene, you know darn good and well everything at that scene.
Yeah.
And if you don't deserve that job.
Tell Karen to go on my Facebook page. You'll see us standing there when we went to the Justice Center, and they tried to put that guy in front of me, and I stood in front of him and I kneeled on the floor. I said, you guys are trying to get me out of that picture, and I'm not leaving.
And then we went yesterday, and right in front of the new Justice Center, is a freaking beer wagon. They're selling beer out of the parking lot of the Justice Center.
Really?
Yeah. I got pictures of Barb standing in front of it with her signs by the beer wagon, and then behind her you can see the picture, and it says Justice Center.
Yeah,
Here.
just
Where did I hear? Here's a picture.
no, that picture's from the riverfront time, or that's from Bob Miller when Timmy was still missing. That he did that. But if you go down, you'll see that's Bobby Boone. She's in 6 of these cases. She was there with Timmy. She was there when this girl Ashley was beating her up. I talked to that mother too, but she won't speak out because she lives there and she's taking care of her grandkids and she's scared.
Oh,
but she was beating this Ashley girl up. I got the text messages. Ashley texts her mom and says, "Hey, Mom, something happens to me tonight." She said, "Please promise me my kids are going to be all right." And the mom freaks out. "What's going on?" She goes, "Well, I'm either going to end up in jail or dead tonight." And she goes, and then the next day, the mother got a phone call. And there it is. There it is. See that guy right there that's standing next to me with a white shirt on?
Right here?
Yeah, that guy, he's the old judge when this all happened.
That's,
that's his wife. Look at his wife looking at me. If you zoom
I
in
know.
on that, she looks like she wants to attack me because they stood him in front of me and I said something. Well, first I kneeled on the floor, and then before the picture was taken, the lady said, "You can stand up." Well, then after that was taken, you'll see more pictures there where she's talking to me, and that's where Timmy's body was found on their property. And she tells me, "You need to just go away. You're never going to find out what happened to your son. You need to move on with your life." And I said, "Ma'am, I don't have a life to move on to." She says, "Oh, yes, you do. And you need to move on. You're never, ever going to find out what happened to your son."
Said it 3 times.
But look at how all them women are looking at me like they want to attack me. And on the other side,
look at them. The other side is laughing.
That's why I smile. That's probably the only picture I was so happy to be in. I just smiled because they were so mad because I made the comment because they stood that big guy in front of me. I said, "You don't want me in this picture."
Yeah, all the crooks were in one room and they were plotting. And then here walks in Barbara, you know what I mean?
Oh, their mouths dropped. I wish I'd have got a picture of that.
Is
And
this a
then
courtroom?
the guy that's got the scissors that's going to cut the ribbon, all them guys, me and Jimmy went down and sat with at the commissioners meeting. Not one of them even said hello.
Really?
I did. I said hello to me. Anyway, I didn't care if they said hello back. "Hi, how you doing?"
Hey, look at this lady. She's smiling though.
That,
oh, look at there's that Katie.
Yep.
Yep. Didn't even say hello. Acted like we weren't there. And then if you look down, you'll see a picture of just that lady with the USA talking to me. And that's when she's telling me to go away. And then the girl that took the picture, she went off on the girl that took the picture and said, "You took my picture here. You had no right to take my picture." And the girl says, "Well, we're in a public place. I can take your picture." She goes, "What's the problem? You don't want to be seen talking to Barb?"
You didn't ask my permission.
When was this taken? Imagine if this was one of your children.
That's where I sat for months with that sign.
Oh, wow.
Freezing rain.
Burning up.
103 degrees.
I didn't care.
Oh, he was still missing here. Okay.
Yeah, he was still missing in that. So then I changed that and I put all the people that's been murdered there on that same board. And I hold that one there now.
Wow.
They made a mistake when they brought my son to their town.
Yeah, they did, didn't they?
Because I ain't going nowhere.
What is this, Karen? Pill press? What's that?
Karen.
What does pill press mean?
I have no idea.
Where's that, babe?
You remember this photo?
Which one's she talking about?
Right here. That's the comments.
Oh, that's Beverly Walker, your friend.
She's talking about this Karen Lee.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's
she remembers that photo because
yep.
Most of them pictures on there are just pictures I took just the week he left. Because when I lost Michael, I realized I didn't have a lot of pictures of Timmy, so I was taking pictures every time I saw Timmy.
He's a good-looking kid, too.
He was a very sweet, big-hearted kid.
Boys.
Beautiful eyes, too. Those blue eyes.
And them eyes was to his heart. Timmy had a big heart. I got receipts. He was paying for all them idiot stuff. Makes me sick.
Oh, Caleb and them, Trevor?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was paying for everybody's stuff.
Buying cigarettes, Gatorades.
Paying for their gas. And I got a receipt and I took it to the prosecutor and he's saying, well, he's trying to like appease me is what I call it. But he said there's a receipt shows that Timmy checked his balance at $12.58. At $12.59, he got $160 out. At 9/11, that card was used 3 more times.
The next morning.
That morning.
Jimmy's card?
Timmy's card was used 3 more times and failed. But it was found in his back pocket in his wallet when he was found. Well, that's suspicious to me.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, when I brought it to the prosecutor, he goes, oh, that had nothing to do with Timmy's card. Well, why is it on the receipt, for one?
Yeah.
And so Caleb keeps trying to convince everybody he went to jail at 8:30, but I know for a fact that he went to jail between 10 and 11 that afternoon. And I got a document where Trevor says that when Caleb came into the jail, he was leaving and he asked Caleb, where's your friend? And he said, we were going to Ironton and got pulled over and I had warrants, so I'm in jail now. Well, if that's the case, where Timmy was in the van with him then. Wow. You would not believe how much there is to this stuff. I've got documents out.
I mean, if there was ever such a thing as a slam dunk civil suit, it's just.
Yeah, but finding somebody that will fight for you because they don't want to fight against the police.
Out there?
Yeah. I made so many phone calls to lawyers.
Well, and that's.
I suppose so many people die. They go there and they die.
Right. And
it seems to me it's people from out of town. Like the girl that's missing right there, she's from Farmington, not Fredericktown. That guy that hung himself on March 16th in the park, they found him in the park. And they're saying he hung himself with his belt. I don't know how that's possible. But I talked to another girl, said that she went and looked at it. And another person messaged me and said they seen some crazy stuff happen at the park that night. But they're afraid to go to the police because they don't trust the police. So what do you do with all of it? I mean, I have the documents to show them, but I don't even know who to give them to or what to do.
And that's the very reason why we need to start a foundation. Because, number one, to help, not only to help Barbara, but just like this little Chloe girl, her family ain't got the money.
They ain't got money to pay for, you could tell they don't have money to pay for flyers and they had some.
So again, once you set up a foundation, it goes into a national register around the world. And people start donating because they get interested in it. And they donate millions of dollars. So, basically all you got to have is an attorney as an administrator. Then you got to have a public body to whenever, like say, if this family needs money for this, you got to have a quorum for the president, vice president, and the sergeant of arms and the recording secretary. So you got to have a quorum in order to have a meeting, and then you basically decide on what money to cut to so-and-so for this purpose. And it's all non-taxable.
Well, and other people's need it. I mean, if I didn't have that $560, I wouldn't even know what I know. And then I can prove they didn't give it all to me too. I got recordings of people that they questioned and did not give me the documents.
I wonder what they were.
And then old Bobby Boone, her audio's messed up. Imagine that. Lightning strikes, the audio's messed up when it's stuff important that you want. It's crazy. Like I said, it's a Lifetime movie I'm living.
She was arrested last month, and then she magically disappeared out of the jail.
Yeah, there's this Jessie Pinkley that was there. She's gone now. There's Bobby Boone that was just arrested on the 25th of July.
That's what, like the third
and she's
time?
Gone. And Caleb's been to court 4 times. He's on probation in 2 different counties. I called the board up and I said, I called the prosecutor. I said, how do you get arrested in 2 different counties and you can be on probation in both counties? I said, so in other words, I can get in trouble where I live, go somewhere else and get in trouble, and I can just be on probation in all these different counties. I've never heard of that.
And one not know what the hell it's about. I mean, you know as well as I do, if you break your probation, you go to jail.
No, they just put you on another probation in a different county. If it's a different county, you got in trouble.
And keep the paperwork separate.
But I'm really very, very interested in you hearing this next one that came out tonight, but Bob must not posted it on his thing yet. He just sent it through my hard drive for me to listen to it. And
it'll probably be today, huh? Later today.
Yeah. But when they made the comment, Burger King, a detective says that to somebody he's questioning. Oh, have a seat. This is like Burger King. You
can have it your way.
You can have it your way. So you're going to tell us somebody that you're interrogating, you can have it your way?
Yeah.
Oh, it made me so angry. I couldn't even sleep.
I sat right there and changed his story 3 times.
Why he's
with
talking
the same detective, and the detective just keeps leading him on
to what he wants him
to come to the conclusion of. And but when it's all said and done, he's asking Caleb, well, do you think he's suicidal?
So he's putting, stuff in his head.
Exactly.
Yes,
he's leading him on
a lot of on Trevor and on Busking.
They pretty much tell him, well, this could possibly happen. What do you think? Well, I think that's very possible. Yeah, I agree with you.
Oh, wait till you hear it.
It'll make you throw up.
Makes me sick. And the way they talk about Timmy, it's like they're
he's been this doper his whole
they're
life.
acting like he's been a junkie his whole life, and that is not true.
How do you get those bracelets?
Oh, I've just been ordering them.
I know. Can we order them?
No, I can send you some.
Do you got a thing here where we can buy them, or?
No, I just give them out for free just to keep awareness. Is what I've been doing. I've given them out in 7 states. I'm telling you, if I go through a drive-through, somebody's pumping gas. If I'm at Kohl's, if I'm at Petco, if I'm at Lowe's, I don't care, Schnucks, anywhere I go, I hand out bracelets to everybody. Everybody.
Okay, Duncan just had a cool comment here. She says, I hope you file complaints with the department. You can also escalate concerns to the DOJ if you see a practice pattern.
I have.
Yeah,
And
they
I
don't.
even went on, I called the Attorney General and I made a complaint there, and they sent me a letter, which I can prove. I have the document saying that they can't make them give me my sunshine law request because they're associated with the Highway Patrol. And if I wanted that, I had to hire my own private attorney. They represent the Highway Patrol.
Yeah, Karen, she does have Timmy bracelets. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. I've been giving them out. There's not a day that goes by I don't give them. I'll go up to you pumping gas and give the people pumping gas. I'm not going anywhere.
I'm not going nowhere. You know what? I don't blame you.
What are they going to do to me? They can't hurt my heart any worse than it already hurts.
Right.
And you see me? Did you see me on that horse?
No, where's it at?
It's on my Facebook page.
Is it?
I was on that horse. I was on that horse just over the weekend.
I took her for a buggy ride.
I'm not seeing me on the horse on my Facebook page.
Oh, there's Caleb.
Yeah.
I don't see
Oh,
it.
you guys should see that where it says get out of jail free card.
Yeah, they're way down there.
Yeah, right there.
There it is.
If you read that article at the bottom, there's a video of Katie lying. You'll see her lying about a mason ring that somebody got stolen.
And the reporter
Oh,
caught
yeah,
her right
remember?
in the middle of the line.
I did a video on that.
Yeah.
Remember?
Well, yeah. Where's that picture?
Did you gotta go back
I
to the top? Were you
dedicated.
on the horse?
Yeah, go to the very top of my page. I should be on
Very
the horse. I just did that this weekend. Well, I don't see it anywhere. Look, it's just showing my Facebook page.
This is what it is. I see nothing with a horse.
Oh my gosh, I'm on the horse with my signs. I told him if I want to get on that horse with my sign.
No.
That's a girl. Where's my picture? That's me being
There's
in
the
Florida.
feet.
It's before all that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's at the very beginning of her page.
Well, this is so weird. I'm at the beginning. There ain't nothing.
Yeah.
There's the girl.
Yeah. Lagos Files. The little boy.
Did you put it on your page, babe?
Well, maybe it's on my boyfriend's page, Jimmy Moyers. Or it might be on Justice for Timmy D's.
Oh, it could be on that one.
Yeah. You put a heart and then put Justice for Timmy D's, and it's probably on that page then.
Okay.
Because I tagged you on it.
Right
there it is.
Well, it's not on my page, apparently.
No.
Might be on Justice for
There we
Timmy.
go.
Right there. Right there you are. There you are.
There's that funny picture.
Yeah.
Go to my page, I guess.
Your page? It's on your page? I was just there.
Yeah, see that box? See when you go back down. See that box?
That's my kids, yeah.
Yep, there's
Oh,
Timmy and my son.
That's me and her boys.
Yeah. What's going on here? Oh, view main profile. Where's the horse picture?
Where's the horse picture, Jim?
Mine are. It's right at the top, hon.
No, they're not on there.
No, they're not.
Try Justice.
Oh wait, I'm on your page.
We were on Barbara's, and now we're on yours. Ain't that weird?
One day, I don't know. I don't trust anything. I'm talking about getting a new phone.
Let's go back to Miss Barbara. And I was just on Justice for Timmy's page.
Well, I don't understand that.
Yeah, it's gone.
See us all in Florida with our shirts on. We have handed bracelets out to everybody and wore our shirts.
Oh, that's cool. I like that picture of him too.
Yeah, that's my favorite picture.
Oh, that's because right there it is. Third one down.
It's the third one down on Jimmy's page. That's crazy.
You'll see Natalie Long.
We can't see it on here, can we?
No.
See?
It's gone. Why?
Can she see you?
She's looking at your page right now, Jimmy. And that's not on there.
No, it's not. It's not on Miss Barbara's either.
No.
Wow.
That is weird.
Yeah, they probably got our phones.
I got a picture of her on the horse. I got her up on the horse, and I give her a sign that says, "Think about your children." And at the top, I put Jimmy is with Barbara, and I put fearless.
Oh, that's a nice picture, too.
Yeah, it's being.
Here's a picture of a horse, though.
Yeah, well, that ain't. I was sitting on the horse with my signs.
That's funny.
Just Saturday. Oh, yeah, you should see them people. But you know what? A lot of people, you would not believe the women that came up to me and hugged me and said, please don't go away. We need change here.
Yeah.
I'm going to send you those pictures, though.
Yeah, do that.
Send them on here.
That is so weird.
Yeah. Because Jimmy's looking at him.
He's looking at him right now?
Yeah, on his Facebook page. He's looking at him on his Facebook page right now. Here, I'll show him to you on my screen. Here. Give me a phone for a minute. Can you see that?
Oh my gosh.
And then
that is weird.
With my sign.
That is so weird. I was on 3 different pages. His page, your page, and Timmy's.
And so that picture's not on there, and that picture's not on there?
Nope.
And that picture's not on there either.
Would it be because we may not be friends? But
but her and I are friends.
Yes.
My stuff's open to the public.
So is mine. So you see what I'm talking about? We have them on there.
That's crazy.
That is weird.
Yeah. I'm thinking I need to change phone numbers and get a different phone. I think they got my phone rigged. I don't trust anything they do.
I don't trust them either. Who can you trust, right?
Yeah.
All you want is an explanation, and you can't even get that. It's that simple.
Oh, wait till you listen to that other recording. You think that one you just listened to was bad? Wait till the one that came out today. That's not out to the public yet, apparently, but I have the link. How can I can send you the link on your on Messenger, or text?
Yeah, you can text it to me.
All right, when I get off of here, I'll do that. Okay. You listen to it. You tell me what you think, because I've never in my life would think that if that's how they interrogate anybody, they need to give me a job, because they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
That Burger King thing's been eating at me since I heard it.
I can't imagine. I can't believe they talked to a mother like that.
Well, I can't either, but they knew I just lost my other son. How dare you talk to a parent or any person that lost a loved one? Anybody. That's just, I told the prosecutor, I said, if that's how they talk to people, they need to go back to training or they don't need jobs.
Right.
And then the Ashley girl, you know what they said about her? I didn't finish that. So Ashley's mom got a phone call, and that was on October the 8th, 2021. I know these things by dates without even getting my paperwork out. And the grandmother got a phone call from the school the next day, said your daughter didn't show up to pick up the kids. So she picked the kids up, brought them home. They couldn't get in the house. The little boy climbed in the window and found his mom dead in the bathroom. She had a dog leash around her neck, tied on the right-hand side. She's left-handed. And they said she hung herself on a shower curtain rod.
And she weighed 165 pounds.
She weighed 100.
Close enough.
Oh, come on.
I can't hang myself on no
Yeah.
shower curtain rod, and I only weigh 110 pounds.
But not only that, it was inside of a camper. So, it's even less weak or sturdy.
I have pictures of her neck. I have all the text messages. I'll send them to you because something needs to be. The only reason why
What did they say? They're saying she committed suicide?
Yep, suicide.
She was the one that was beating up Bobby Boone, and the two guys jumped in and
Snapped her neck and pulled her in the bathroom and put a dog leash on her neck, and the highway patrol and Katie and all them put it down as a suicide.
The bruising is not up around underneath her chin and her ears like it should be if you were hanging.
Yeah.
They're around the esophagus area.
I'll find them and send them to you because I got all the text messages. And the reason why the mother's not speaking out is because she lives in Fredericktown and she wants the babies. She wants her grandkids. So she's scared to death. So these people won't speak out because they're scared. Something needs to change. There's a lot of people living there that are just scared to death to say anything about what they know.
Isn't there some unsolved ones too?
Oh, well, Durante Martin, remember?
Yeah.
He shot himself in the head. He got depressed at a graduation party, crawled up in an attic, and shot himself in the head.
And he had a broken arm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, why would you go to a graduation party anyway? And then, I guess I got depressed when I was there and crawled up in an attic.
I had a future in football.
And I was told that Bobby Boone's the one that shot him in the head. Bobby Boone's in all these cases. I want to know what she's doing to be protected.
Yeah, that's...
Makes me think she's got something on the cops.
Yeah, she probably did every one of them.
See, they think just because they're a small little county, small little town that, they can't, be exposed. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. Karen says, people.
They're getting exposed because I ain't shutting up.
Karen says, people need justice for sure, Barbara. They should be able to get answers for their loved ones.
Yep. And I feel bad for that Ashley's mom too, because that woman had 3 kids and now they don't have their mother.
Sad. Well, why don't you send me all that when you have time, and I will be taking care of this stuff for sure tomorrow. But I got to get going. I got to go to bed.
Okay, I'm going to send all that to you.
Yeah, send it all to me.
So we can kind of expose Fredericktown because it needs to be done.
Yeah, and I'm starting with Jeff Johnson.
Yeah, you think Jeff Johnson's bad. Wait till you hear his wife or his boss tomorrow. They both need to be talked to.
They need to be talked to. They need to be taken out and take a horse.
Well, they don't need their jobs, that's for sure.
Exactly. They need to, not be in any law enforcement. They don't know how to treat families of victims of crime. I don't care. It's a crime. There was a 911 call prior to him going missing. Something bad happened.
Right.
I mean, come on now. And then here he's found bones. He doesn't even have his hair and his hands cut off.
And no fingernails.
And no fingernails.
No, what else?
What did they do? Torture him?
Cartilage, no ligaments.
No ligaments, no cartilage, no nothing.
Your Achilles heel and your hip sockets, and where your sacrum meets your iliac crest, which is your hip bones.
Yeah.
Those are the last to leave, and that takes years.
And that's all gone. And when we talked to Jimmy's doctor, he said and then they're trying to say Timmy had that childhood disease, bones disease, because there's like little pitting and on his bones. And Jimmy's doctor told us just Friday that they had to put chemicals on Timmy's body for his body to be decompose that much and that quickly. But nobody listens to me as far as who's the important.
My doctor's been practicing for 46 years.
He just shook his head about it because his secretary follows my page and follows everything that is going on with Timmy. And we got to talking about it, and that's when the doctor said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're talking about that while they're cutting part of my face off.
What happened?
Oh, Jimmy had a knot on his head, and we had to get it checked out to make.
Oh.
No, he had to get a spot checked out on his face so make sure it wasn't skin cancer. But he's blessed. It was just.
Yeah, so it all turned out good.
It turned out all good. But his doctor told us that he stopped, put his head down. He looked up at me and he goes, he even named the chemical that they had put on Timmy.
Oh.
He said they had to have. He didn't just decompose that quickly.
Yeah.
No matter what the weather was. But like I said, I can't get anybody to listen to me and do anything about it. Law enforcement said, I need to go away. It's closed and move on.
And the guy that supposedly didn't see Timmy that night, that everybody swears up and down he was asleep. He said, well, he probably went out there and took, when you get all messed up like that, first thing you do is you start running and you take your clothes off. And he probably laid down and died because it was 28 degrees that night. Well, I looked. It was 48 degrees that night. That day it got up to 65. So you don't die of hypothermia at 48 degrees.
Yeah.
Especially if you're running. Let's just say you're running, you're going to get hotter, not freeze.
Yeah, they're sick out there. Something's going on.
Well, I've worked.
I'm telling you, something's going on there. There's no doubt about it. Now we got another 15-year-old girl, and this family's going through hell. It's not right. But I'll send that stuff to you.
Yeah, send it all to me because for sure I will be researching Jeff Johnson, and I'm gonna do a piece on Chloe.
Okay.
Thank you.
Her family.
I'm gonna get a hold of a friend of mine, and I'm gonna have her do a flyer for me.
Okay. Thank you guys so
Yeah,
much.
of
You
course.
guys are so great to us families. We wouldn't know how to. I didn't even know what a podcast was until Timmy came up missing. But you guys are great.
Oh, thank you. I think you're amazing. You are.
She is.
I have. That's a God thing.
Fire. And it just breaks my heart. All she wants is an explanation, and they can't even give her that. And then all this disrespect I'm finding out now. I mean, horrible to even hear it, though.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, it just...
That makes it even worse
We
to
were
hear it.
sitting right here when she made the phone call, putting it on recording, and, man, it was all I could do. I'm not a cusser, but at that moment, I really wanted to give him a piece of my mind.
No, so did I. But you know what I noticed? The nicer I was to the man, the madder he got. And then he wouldn't let me talk and he interrupted me. Wait till you hear this next one. I'm going to send you the link to it as soon as I get off here.
He doesn't really get into the bad stuff yet because...
Oh, yeah, it's still good.
He's got more coming. But, I mean, my gosh, it's 47 minutes. And he covers so much. And
you wouldn't believe the documents I got.
And he in the very end he said, if anybody's going to solve this case, Miss Barbara's going to.
Oh yeah.
Well, because I ain't going away.
Wow. All right. Send me that. I'll take care of that. I want to thank everybody for being here. This is Miss Barbara. This is Timmy D's mom. If any of you people have watched me, you know who Timmy is.
Thank you. That beautiful smile of Timmy's gonna break
Yeah.
that town down.
Yep.
Very
Okay.
cool.
I love
Thank
you
you,
guys.
ladies. Love yous.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye. Good night, everybody. I'm extremely tired, but tomorrow, watch for me because I'm exposing this cop and I'm going to have that clip of what he said to her. And thank you, Duncan. And we're going to cover Chloe Adams. Okay? So please join me tomorrow when I do this. Let the games begin. I will get these